Today I'll show you how and why stop motion works so you can make your own stop motion videos, starting now. Hey guys, welcome back to Learning Curve Tech, where I learn tech with you. And on this channel, I learn camera stuff with you guys. So if you like using tech in creative ways, definitely subscribe and hit the bell so you can be the first to get new videos every week. Now, stop motion has been around for a while. The first ever stop motion was the Humpty Dumpty Circus, which was released in 1898. Somewhere around there, by J. Stuart Blackton and Albert E. Smith. The earliest stop motions were rather rudimentary compared to modern animations, but the concept really remains the same. So basically, stop motion is a series of pictures, also known as frames, that is played at a high speed of 24 frames per second. Your eyes see the images flashing before your eyes. Your eyes see the images flashing before you as a moving picture, but it is really just an illusion. Of course, a clay figure is not actually moving, it just appears to move. Although stop motion is usually at 24 frames per second, you can even do 12 frames per second. But just remember, the more images you take and the higher speed you play it back at, the smoother your animation will be. So 24 frames per second is a lot smoother than 12 frames per second, but you also have to take twice as many pictures. And you see where this could get a little time consuming. So say one picture takes you 40 seconds to pose and 20 seconds to capture. So 1 second of animation at 24 frames per second would take 24 minutes to shoot. But let's make it 25 to give some room to spare. Now, multiplying 25 by 60 for a 1 hour animation would give us 1,500 minutes of shooting and posing time. That means it would take you a full 24 hours to shoot an hour-long animation. But of course, it actually takes much longer than that. So if you don't have a lot of patience, just move on to another art medium. You also want to move your figure in smaller increments in order to get smoother animation. But remember, if you move your figure in smaller increments, you're going to have to increase the frame rate. But if you move your figure in bigger increments, bigger steps between each frame, you're going to have to decrease your frames per second. Just do not change the frame rate or the frames per second that you're playing your animation back at in the middle of your animation. If you are a beginner, just start out with 12 frames per second, which means you'll be taking bigger movements between each frame, but you also won't have to take as many photos. One of the most common mistakes I see people making a lot is when they move their figure in really small increments, but they don't increase their frame rate. This makes the figure's movement very slow and robotic. If you've ever seen animation where it's fluid, but it's also not fast enough. It's not realistic. So don't be afraid to speed up your animation by either moving your character in bigger increments or increasing the frame rate. That just scratches the surface of stop motion. So if you want to learn more, check out one of these videos here, and if you haven't already, subscribe right here. If you have any questions concerning stop motion, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer them in a future video. Have a great day creating, and I'll see you next time on Learning Curve Tech.